Eggs have served as a powerful symbol of shifting nutritional science, once celebrated as a perfect food, then vilified as a cholesterol bomb, and now largely redeemed as a nutrient-dense staple. The dramatic evolution of public health advice about eggs over the past several decades reflects not only changing scientific understanding, but also broader challenges in how dietary recommendations are formed, interpreted, and communicated to the public. In the mid-20th century, as cardiovascular disease became the leading cause of death in industrialized nations, researchers began to search for dietary culprits. The discovery that high blood cholesterol was linked to heart disease led to a focus on cholesterol-containing foods, and eggs, specifically the yolks, became a prime target. Early studies observed that eggs were rich in cholesterol, around 185 to 200 milligrams per yolk, and since high blood cholesterol was believed to come directly from food, eggs were branded as risky. By the 1970s and 1980s, major health organizations recommended limiting dietary cholesterol to 300 milligrams per day, and egg consumption plummeted in response to official advice. This shift had far-reaching effects. Food companies created cholesterol-free egg substitutes and low-cholesterol breakfast cereals. Doctors routinely warned patients with heart disease or high cholesterol to avoid eggs entirely, and the egg yolk became something to fear rather than value. Yet this was based more on assumption than rigorous causality. Much of the early data came from animal studies or population-level associations, without adequately accounting for other dietary factors like saturated fat, sugar, or overall lifestyle habits. Over the following decades, more precise research began to challenge the cholesterol hypothesis. Scientists discovered that the body tightly regulates blood cholesterol levels, producing more when less is consumed, and vice versa. For the vast majority of people, eating cholesterol-rich foods like eggs had only a modest impact on blood cholesterol, and even that impact often included increases in HDL, good cholesterol, not just LDL. Controlled trials and epidemiological studies began to show that moderate egg consumption, about one per day, was not associated with increased heart disease risk in healthy individuals. By the 2010s, these findings led to a quiet but significant shift in dietary policy. In 2015, the U.S. Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee removed the previous recommendation to limit dietary cholesterol, noting that cholesterol is not a nutrient of concern for overconsumption. This marked a major turning point. Eggs were no longer condemned in public health recommendations, and they began to regain favor as an affordable, versatile, and nutrient-rich food. Modern nutrition science now recognizes that eggs offer high-quality protein and essential nutrients such as choline, vitamin B12, selenium, and lutein, nutrients that support brain development, eye health, and immune function. For older adults and those with limited access to expensive animal protein, eggs are an especially valuable source of nutrition. Even concerns about saturated fat in eggs have been reassessed, as whole dietary patterns, rather than single nutrients, are now seen as more predictive of long-term health outcomes. That said, caution still applies in specific contexts. People with familial hypercholesterolemia, diabetes, or advanced cardiovascular disease may need individualized dietary guidance. Some studies suggest a possible association between very high egg consumption and cardiovascular events in these populations, although results are inconsistent and likely influenced by other lifestyle factors. Additionally, how eggs are prepared and what they're eaten with, such as bacon, white toast, or trans-fat-laden margarine, can significantly alter their health impact. The story of eggs in public health advice is not just about cholesterol. It is also a lesson in the pitfalls of reductionist nutrition. Isolating one nutrient, like cholesterol, and making broad recommendations without accounting for complexity can lead to confusion, unintended consequences, and unnecessary dietary restrictions. It highlights the need for flexible, evidence-based guidance that evolves as science improves. Today, eggs have largely reclaimed their place in a healthy diet, appreciated for their dense nutritional profile and role in balanced eating. The shift in perspective reflects both scientific correction and a broader move toward personalized, whole food-based dietary advice. In the end, the egg offers more than just protein or cholesterol. It provides a case study in how nutrition science, public messaging, and cultural habits interact over time, for better or worse.